INSFW, what have you found out about someone that you would never tell them you know? I think I have told this story on here before. In elementary school, I saw one of my best friends eating pizza somebody had thrown in a garbage can. I found out a bit later that his dad had lost his job, and his dad, his two sisters, and his mom were living on the streets. But he would have died from shame had I told him that I know. But my mom found out from me, and she bought him and his sisters lunch cards for the year and breakfast cards. The school lunch lady told them that they won them in a raffle. Edit. Thanks for the gold, whoever you are. Glad I could make your day a bit better, hopefully. I found out that my friend got a girl pregnant, told her he'd take her to an abortion clinic, but then never showed, and she had to take herself. I learned this from the girl's roommate. I don't think I'll ever tell him I know, but I lost a lot of respect for him. I found a stuffed Lala bunny doll with a hole and cam stains at a friend's house. Found out more about him than I bargained for. My grandma let it slip that when my mum first had me, mum started looking for places to leave me because she was going to leave my dad. My father steadfastly believes my mother died the day after his birthday. In reality, she died on his birthday. Has blocked this/changed the dates to suit his needs, and no one in my family has any intentions of setting that straight. That they were planning to commit suicide a day after my birthday, so I held an extended get together for that weekend and tried to help make his life better as much as I could without being too obtrusive. Edit. Thank you for the gold. My best friend once slept over at my house, and he slept on the couch. Has 18. He wet the bed and blamed it on the cat. I knew it was him, but whenever it comes up I blame the cat too so that he doesn't feel embarrassed. My boss is freaking her boss and tries, very poorly, to hide it from me while saying stuff like, oh, I gotta leave early to pick up my car from boss house today. Bye. My brother had a bunch of little earrings in a bowl in his room when we were 15 over 17 respectively. I used to put them in my recently pierced ear to see what other rings would look like. These were small slightly curved barbels, so they were different than the studs I had in. A few months later I heard through the grapevine that my brother had a deck piercing and thought, yeah, that's about right. I only realized years after the fact I was putting his deck rings in my ears and had been asking him how they looked. He's never brought it up or mentioned it. The day after we bought a new car, my wife hit the garage door and scraped a plastic mudguard. She freaked out and called the dealership, which was an hour away, then drove there and back to have it replaced before I got home from work. I found out because the new mudguards are sold in a pair and the other mudguard and a receipt were hidden in one of the garage cabinets. I have never told her that I know. When I was 15 my mom asked me to fix her phone because the internet wasn't working. After poking around for a while I figured it out and went to test it. When I opened up Google, her top searches were how to make my husband love me and how to make my husband notice me. My dad has been cheating on her most of my life. I'm 20. When her and I talked about him cheating she said she was used to it and was just staying with him for my sister and I, and that she no longer really loved him. I believed her up until that point. I never told her I saw that. Edit. Wow. I had no idea this would get so much attention. My mom is doing amazing now. Her and I are very close even though I live 9 hours away. She nearly left my dad a couple years ago after I moved out. He then realized how horrible he was to her and he went through therapy and did everything he could to fix it. They are really happy now and more supportive than ever. I found nude pics of one of my friends online. I guess she was modeling on the side. My cousin's husband has been having affairs for years. He is a high-powered business person, travels frequently and pretty much has a woman in every port. I know this because I interned at his company for a couple of summers. I didn't disclose we knew each other, and only a couple of people in the office knew we had ties outside the office and everyone seemed to know what was going on. I didn't have the heart to tell my cousin at the time because she was a SAHM with 2 young girls, but the reality I was young, stupid and afraid to tell her. The years passed and it became more and more evident she knew exactly what was going on, but tolerated it because she enjoyed the lifestyle he afforded her too much to give it up. Guess we all make our choices in life. I'm pretty sure my wife thinks I can't hear that she farts as soon as she gets in the shower. Finally, one I can answer. I found out my cousin is gay years ago. He hasn't told anyone. We come from a very conservative southern family and it isn't my place to tell anyone. I'd have told him, but I found out by looking at his Reddit account and I feel bad enough about betraying his privacy. I'm sure you're probably reading this now because you're freaking addicted to Reddit, but your secret is safe with me, dude. We have a guy who works for us that is really quiet, and after years of me joking with him about a girlfriend I finally switched to boyfriend, and he got jiggly and blushed. Ever since then I just ask him about boys in his life etc and has opened up a lot to me and my family. I think it's a huge relief for them to know that we know and still won't treat them any differently, especially if their family doesn't accept them. That's how he started working for us. He had to move in because his parents and very large family were essentially pretending he didn't exist. I never told my mom that her contact for my dad was called Six God back in 2009. One of my best friends, going on 14 years or so, fricks his sister. It was not uncommon for me to stop by and just walk into the house, knowing the family so long. Well, one day I walk in and bam, brother/sister sectional congress going on the couch. In the middle of the day. They did not notice me, so I just slipped back out. I don't pop over there anymore. Found out a friend got fired from a job because he got caught jerking off in the walk-in freezer. Edit. His mom was the manager, and she was the one who fired him. I followed one of my old co-workers on Tumblr I know several years ago, and forgot about it, because she stopped using it. This year she started using it again, but her Tumblr turned into a pronoun blog for her DDLG relationship with her husband. I would be cruising down my dashboard and suddenly see a video of her in a frilly dress getting reamed in the ass, or what have you, until I remembered to unfollow her. I found my brother's Reddit account. He tried some stuff sexually that I would rather not know, and definitely would not want him to know that I know. I knew that my husband's former boss was getting fricked by a police officer at work, while her husband listened in on the phone. Her husband is the one who usually set it up. My husband and I never told her we knew that, but it taught me that even the most vanilla couples on the outside can be real freaks in the sheets on the inside. Not me but my friend. I lived in central Missouri during high school and I wasn't out of the closet yet. They are not too friendly to my kind round them parts, I tell you what. Anyway, I was at a play rehearsal and backstage getting ready. I left my phone up front in my seat, where everyone would hang out waiting for their part to rehearse. My boyfriend at the time texted me something that would obviously out me. My friend grabs my phone cause it goes off, and he thought he'd play a little joke on me and reply something funny in my stead. When he saw what was texted, he just locked my phone and put it back. He never told anyone and kept it to himself until I came out 3 years later. I've had the most profound respect for him since. Maybe not what Op was looking for, but he never told me or anyone about it. Props, brother. That I stole my best friend's keys, shoes, belts, and shaving razors in order to save him from attempting suicide. He was incredibly drunk and in the worst mental state of depression and anger I've ever seen, and he was searching for his keys so he could drive home 4 hours. But while he was on a tangent in a different room, I stole his things, shoes, because shoelaces. He was searching for those keys for hours in the early AM and I searched with him all night. When I finally got him to bed I returned all his things. He's much better now and has gotten help. That they were named in honor of someone who killed his wife and then himself, leaving several kids behind as orphans. Edit. Yes, the parents who did the naming knew full well what he had done. The dad of one of my friends is terminal. She already lost her mom when she was younger, and she has a younger sister still in high school. She hasn't told anyone, but I found out because my cousin dates her younger sister. She still seems so happy all of the time. He wasn't supposed to live to see 2018, but has still around, which is nice, but it still pains me whenever I see her. I once stumbled upon my little sister's browsing history. She was around 11 years old at the time. Most of the searches were pronoun related. Nurse at work was having a problem with her phone. Being a tech guy, she asked me to see if I could look at it. Honestly have no idea what I did to fix it. But guy found so much pronoun. Full videos etc. Recently found out that my grandmother has cancer. I don't want her to know that I know, because I want her to just enjoy my company and take her mind off of it. FCK cancer. That their dad cheated on their mom and they have a half sister they don't know about. Edit. For people asking how I found out. I went to high school with the girl. Her dad worked with my mom for about 20 years. My mom told me for some reason the girl very much dislikes me anyway. His brother was the one who posted a picture of him on r/roast. Their Reddit usernames. I found out that my mom started some pronoun at least once and probably worked in prostitution in the past to edit. I've been gone all day and just absent-mindedly typed this out on my phone and now I come home to this being my top comment. Wonderful. Just for those asking how I found out pretty much how I think. I was browsing videos and saw her name in the title and her in the thumbnail. This was several years ago, so I don't remember what site I found it on, but your best bet is probably YouPorn if you wanna try and avoid or search it, since that was the site I used most back as for the prostitution part. My sister ended up finding out herself and just told me. I honestly don't remember how she found out, but considering what I found, I believe it. While at my house playing D&D, she abruptly went to the washroom. Later that night after people went home, I found dried poop on the wall and floor surrounding my toilet. How such a short girl could get fesses up that high, I'll never know. It must have been some detonation. But I will never ask her about it or tell anyone else. I stumbled upon my older sister's diary when taking care of her dog. Flipped through out of curiosity and found out that her first boyfriend refused to use a condom when he took her virginity and she ended up getting pregnant before having an early miscarriage. She's 20, working 2 jobs, and going to community college. All this has happened around Thanksgiving. When I saw her at dinner I didn't suspect anything, but she left early due to stomach pain. I can't imagine what she went through, but she's flawlessly acting like nothing happened. Nobody knows but me, and she doesn't know I know, and I plan to keep it that way. TL. Doctor, found our sister had an early miscarriage after losing virginity, told no one. I've posted this before, but near the end of college I discovered my roommate and his sister had a sexual relationship. Found a friend's Reddit profile. Apparently he's a cuck. He likes his wife to have sex with random strangers and have them finish in her, and then he likes to clean her up afterwards, and sometimes the guy, he likes to wear women's lingerie while doing it sometimes too. Big rabbit hole I wish I never went down.